So earlier in the chapter, we had an addition rule which allowed us to deal with probability of unions of events. So here we're going to develop something called a multiplication rule, and that's going to help us deal with probabilities of intersections of events. So remember, our conditional probability of A given B was probability of A and B divided by probability of B, so the given events in the denominator. So if you set the cross products equal here, then the probability of A and B is equal to this product here, probability of B times probability of A given B. But then if you switch the B and A, this would be B and A, and then it'll be A and B given A. So actually these are the same. So your multiplication rules are probability of A and B is probability of B times probability of A given B, which is the same as probability of A times B given A. So your first event matches the given, and then your first event matches the given in either order. That's the multiplication rules. So let's look at an example and apply this. We've got some data from police records that say 20% of drivers are minorities. That's the event M. So we're given probability of M is 0.2. 98% of drivers speed 5+ miles per hour. So that's event S. So probability that we got a speeder, if we pick a person in random, is 0.98. And then of the speeders, 15% are minorities. So of the speeders, so it's given that they're a speeder, so vertical bar S, and then out of those speeders, 15% are minorities. So this is M given S, minority given speeder, 0.15. And then of those that are stopped, 35% are minorities. So let's let ST be the event that they were stopped. So of those that were stopped, so it's given that they were stopped. So given that they were stopped, and of those, the probability they are a minority was 0.35. So this is kind of alluding to this idea of racial profiling in ticketing and arrests. So that's why we might want to know some of these probabilities. So find the probability that a person was a minority and a speeder. So this is probability of minority and speeder, so M and S. So that's like this, A and B. So we've got two possibilities here. So probability of M times probability of S given M. But it's also probability of S times probability of M given S. So let's see which one we know the pieces of. So probability of M, 0.2, so we know that one. Probability of S, 0.98, so we know that one. Probability of M given S, 0.15. That's this one here. And S given M, we don't have that here. So we need to use this version right here. So this will be probability of S, 0.98, times probability of M given S, 0.15. And multiply those in the calculator. So 0.98 times 0.15, 0.147. Okay, how about find the probability a person was not a minority given they were a speeder. So this is asking what is the probability that they are not a minority, so that's M complement, given that they were a speeder. So that's a conditional probability. So remember, the given condition determines your denominator. So in the denominator, we've got probability of a speeder, and we know that, that's 0.98. In the numerator, you do the intersection probability. So this is not a minority, and they were still a speeder. Okay, so that denominator we know is 0.98. And then not a minority, and they were a speeder. We don't have that probability here. However, we can find that probability. So we do know the probability of M and S. So the probability here of a minority, let's see here, is that what I want? No, I'm sorry, probability that they were a speeder. So the speeders we can divide up into two pieces. They were minority speeders or non-minority. So minority and a speeder, or plus not minority and they were a speeder. So since S is equal to M union S and M complement, M intersect S along with M complement intersect S. So here's the diagram. So you've got your speeders here and your minority here. So the circle for speeders is two pieces. This piece here, which is the intersection M and S, and then this piece out here, which is in S but not M. So this is S and not M. So those two pieces together make S. So we know the probability that they're a speeder, that's 0.98. On the right side, M and S, we know that, we just figured it, 0.147. And then this is left over, M complement and S. So we just have to bring that 0.147 over as a negative. So this tells us that probability of M complement and S is going to be the 0.98 minus the 0.147. So 0.98 minus 0.147. So 0.98 minus 0.147, 0.833. And that's M complement and S. That's what we wanted in our numerator. So this is 0.833 divided by 0.98. So 0.833 divided by 0.98, 0.85. Even. So 85% chance that the person was not a minority given that they were speeding. So it's just a matter of listing out what probabilities you know, and then find the formulas that involve the probability you know and the probability that you want.